Vajagic with the serve. Here's Malone with the swing, blocked again. North Carolina again, swing it out to Malone, dug out by Simon nicely. Here's Mimi Collier with the swing, it's kept up and pushed out to Malone for a third time, who tips it over the block. Now here's Collier again, gets blocked, kept alive, sent over, diving to keep it in was Egan. Mimi Collier for a third time, it's kept up. Malone will try it a fourth. She swings. Beautiful diving play from Simon. Sent back over and it's just wide. But then they've given North Carolina the point. They've overruled the linesperson's decision. What a turn of events there. The linesperson on the side of the Badgers said it was out. The other referee said it was in. North Carolina get the point after that big rally. What a point that was.
That's great job for the Tar Heels to kind of get that momentum back to them, because that's what they were able to do against UETP. Wow. On Thursday night, they won those rallies.
Simon, it's a tough pass, giving a free ball right back to North Carolina. Thorpe with the swing, kept up by Egan. Vajagic pushes it out to Collier, who got blocked, and it falls out. So a kill from Mimi Collier. And it was 3 attackers getting that play done. A dig from Egan, a set from Vajagic, and then a kill from Collier. And a score update, too, for the women's hockey game. With 30 seconds left, Ohio State have got one back. It's 2-1. Can the Badgers hang on for 30 seconds?
In the second period?
Or the third period.
Oh, good morning. Okay, didn't realize that.
Empty net for Ohio State. Meanwhile, here is Kristen Simon for Wisconsin with the serve. It's a great serve, but it's an even better dig from May. Thorpe with the tip, read well by Furbringer. Simon sets up Mimi Collier, who gets denied by Chelsea Thorpe. And she does the sword celebration.
Yeah, Kelsey Thorpe and Jackie Taylor standing together, not even trying, they are recreating that Andrew Ann Booth mentality for block and putting it down the net.
She is hyped up, and you can understand why. Can the Badgers respond here with a kill? Collier gets blocked again. Here comes North Carolina. Hampton gets denied, kept up. Hampton has to just send it over, and she does. Furbringer swings it out to Mimi Collier, kept up again. This time by Taylor. Hampton sends it over. The back set to Carter Booth, who swings at it and gets the kill. Carter Booth introduces herself to this Badger crowd again.
The crowd loves roaring for Carter Booth. It's honestly one of my favorite chants. And to shout out Daniel from WSUM, who is proudly sitting in the second row. He is the biggest Badger fan I've ever seen in my entire life, and he's never looked more locked in.
Here's Charlie Furbringer with the serve. Tries the floater again. It works out. The tight set, miscommunication between a couple of Tar Heels results in a free ball for Wisconsin. The tip by Collier is well read by Barrett. Here is Hampton with the swing through the block, but kept up by Furbringer. Here's Grace Egan with the kill. Terminates that one into the back corner. And it is 14-7, Wisconsin in the first set.
For the Tar Heels, I'm thinking, when do you call your second timeout?
Right.
When do you regroup? Because they're working on transitioning, but the Badgers, unfortunately, are better at placing the ball down on the court and just also transitioning better on their side.
Furbringer, another floater. Hampton takes a swing and finds the open spot and answers back with a kill. Yeah, I don't know when you take the second timeout. You don't want to waste it just yet, but if you let the Badgers roll with it here,
I mean, they got really that dangerous point there, but...
Yeah, let's see if they can get a couple more here. And it's Sienna Koza, who had one in the net her last time at the service line. Is going to hope for a better result this time. And she gets one. Puts Wisconsin out of system. It's going to be a tough one for Egan, who takes a swing, puts some spin on it, but it was dug out by Koza. Hampton out of system, puts that one over. Tight at the net, swung down by Hampton. Booth tried to block it, but she was just offline. And that was a free shot there for Hampton. And she had all the time in the world. Booth, with her long reach, her arm is probably bigger than me. She reached and got a hand on it, but just a bit offline. So that's 2 points in a row for North Carolina.
Yeah.
That's big for them. The back set to Mimi Collier. Dug out, going right back over for Wisconsin, but it falls out. So the Badgers answer back.
Venucio takes a shot off a skate and wide of the goal, picked up by Scannell behind the net. Scannell gets pushed off the puck and out in front looking for Halverson. Couldn't find her. Halverson gets it back to Enright. Turned over. Here is Moran now for Minnesota State. Lifts that one into the corner. Murphy chasing it into her own corner. She gets it out to Venucio. Mishandled it. Enright needs to help and does. Scannell trying to get it free. Can't get it out of the zone. Picked up now by Lopez. Turned it over and out to center ice for Hannah Halverson as the Badgers go for a change. Halverson takes a shot. Turned away by Roski. McCarthy chops at it as this third line comes out for Wisconsin. Arguably the best line in yesterday's game with Picard centering it. Had her first goal of the season, followed by another assist.
Yeah, been a nice day.
Pretty good for her,
I
would
say. That was her inaugural goal, which blew me away. It just seemed like she scored earlier in the year, but she had not prior to that yesterday.
I know, she is one of those players where you'd think she'd score a few, but hasn't quite done it.
Yeah, she makes the right plays consistently.
But finally gets the monkey off her back and gets the goal. She wins the faceoff here as she normally does. Skips over the stick of Mackenzie Jones, though, at the blue line, so she mishandles it. Picard brings it right back in. The centering pass from Picard just misses McCarthy. Picard has it behind the net. Being pestered by Goldsworthy, being pressed up against the boards by her. McCarthy trying to get it free. Picard gets it to Peakenhagen, mishandles it, and it's turned over to Bischoff. Now here's Lopez. Lopez up ahead. Lopez takes a shot off the stick of Jungles and wide of the goal. Bischoff behind the net. Out in front to Lopez. The centering pass just misses Otremba. And the zone is cleared. Psychos picks it up. At center ice, here's Psychos again. Dumps it down. Nobody there in white to chase. So Jones picks it up. Jungles. Long pass. Was looking for Aidan. Couldn't find her, and she's just offside. We get a whistle with 17:20 to go. So, Greeny, you were at the men's game yesterday, or did you not end up going?
Yeah, I went last night to watch the Maverick men play Bemidji, and it was a great contest. I loved it. It was a real goaltenders duel. 1-0 victory for Mankato. But, yeah, it was a great game. Older age players here on both those teams in a tight rink. So it was a real men's game. I mean, no margin for error. Everything had to be moved quickly, no time and space.
There you go. A lot of NHL draft picks on those teams or no?
I don't believe so, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but
fair enough.
Some really good hockey,
Love it. That's great. Raya Stewart has it behind the Badger goal, and it goes all the way the length of the ice. Of course, Bemidji State in the WCHA with the women's team and the CCHA with the men's team.
Yep.
And here is Moran from Minnesota State in her own zone. Gets it up ahead to Goldsworthy. Touch pass just out of the reach of Sophie Stramel. Now here's Moran behind the net. Moran looking for a pass out in front. Gorbatenko shied it away. Here is Kiana Roski. Turned it over in the neutral zone to Hannah Halverson. Halverson got pushed off the puck by Tuttle, and it's dumped back down behind the Badger goal. Here's Potter now. Leaves it for Murphy. Murphy, it's picked off by Guillemette, who finds Lopez behind the net. The centering pass out in front. Zawoyski, a shot saved by Stewart. And now the Badgers are looking to break. Here's Halverson up ahead to Enright. Scannell drops it off at the point for Murphy. In the corner is Enright. Shovels that one along to the other corner for Halverson. And it's turned over. Picked up by Zawoyski. Zawoyski dumps that one down off the end boards. Took a bounce. And it's turned over again. Otremba makes a move around Murphy to the net. The backhander saved by Raya Stewart. And now Peakenhagen back the other way. On the right side, here's Peakenhagen. Spins away from Goldsworthy, finds Mackenzie Jones. Dumps that one down behind the net. And Bischoff will try and clear the zone for Mankato. Can't quite do it. Kept in by Peakenhagen and back down into the corner. She's going to chase it. Goldsworthy gets there first and sends it around. And the zone is clear. Taylor Otremba picks it up for Minnesota State. On the left side, takes a shot, blocked by Lainey Potter in front. Got her glove and skated out of the zone by McCarthy. Here's Arnson. Lots of space on this right side. Arnson throws one in the area. Too far ahead of Van Mol and Rainbolt. So a throw-in to come and a substitution to come for Carroll. And I believe that, again, not his normal number, Remy Manich, normally number 11, taking Casey Butler's jersey. So thanks to Casey for lending his shirt.
Yeah. I don't know if he had a choice in the matter.
No, I don't think he did either, but it's the thought.
Yep. And give credit to the Pioneers, Aidan. The Badgers scored that goal just 45 seconds into this half, and it just kind of felt like that they were due to just keep on piling on.
Is it the commentator's curse here from Vince Esprick? We'll see in a moment. Here's Arntzen.
You read my mind.
Arntzen gets it right back. Doesn't like what he sees down the line, so he goes central and then gives it away. You were saying.
Yeah, not a doubt in my mind. The Pioneers just done a good job of keeping the Badgers. The Badgers have lived in the box. They have held on to possession almost the entirety. But, I don't know, this past 15-minute stretch, Pioneers have been keeping the Badgers off the scoreboard.
That they have. 18 minutes to go here in the second half. I've seen crazier comebacks in this sport. Not on this pitch, but
yeah,
there's a first for everything. They say 2-0 is the scariest lead. 3 is a little bit less scary, but I suppose it's not game over, and the Pioneers know that. And they're looking for a chance here right off the bench.
Ooh.
And into the action was Manich, but Shrivers was quick to react. And look at Manich. Look at the speed tracking back to get on defense.
Give credit to Ola Arntzen, too, for the Badgers. That through ball, if Arntzen wouldn't have deflected it, that may have found its target in stride.
Arntzen's been pretty active since he's come on. He's had 90 minutes in the last 3 matches. He had an assist last match against Northwestern. Of course, didn't get the 90 today. He's only been on for a few so far. And there's a few players that normally play for Wisconsin that we haven't seen at all. Julian Core, for example. Now, Julian and I are from very similar areas, and when I was a young kid, my cousin and I were playing soccer, and some kid just came up to us and asked if he could play goalie. And we're like, sure, and we were scoring a bunch on him. Kid turns out to be Julian Core, and he told me when he committed for Wisconsin, he's like, Aidan, don't mention my goalkeeping skills on the air. So I'm not going to tell you, how many saves he made, but perhaps you guys can understand. And I think I nutmegged him, too, which is like kicking it through his legs. He goes, Aidan, I promise you, you're never going to do that again. I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm wearing the headset, and you're on the field here. So
that is so funny. You told me you had a story.
Yeah, that's the story. So
I know you wanted to wait until Julian got subbed in to go on that one. That is funny. That's awesome you two have stayed connected.
Yeah, absolutely. So shout out to the Core family watching back home in Hermosa Beach, California. We'll see if Julian will get on the score sheet. And look at that, right on cue, Julian Core is going to get subbed on next for Wisconsin.
Are you serious?
Perfect timing, I guess.
Wow.
Can't write it. Here come the Pioneers. Soloneus, not on the same page there, and putting his hands on his head, looking straight at Sharapov, who was waiting for that ball. And it looks like we're getting maybe a triple substitution. So Julian Core we know to be 1. Cristobal Porter, who only came on to replace Matthias Mott in the first half when he had a bloody nose. So he's coming back on. And then Roman Issa as well, coming on for the Badgers. So that's most of the normal starters for Wisconsin, of course, barring Matisse Hebert, who I imagine is not going to be coming in. Why would you take Shrivers out? He's having a great game. Made his college debut this season with a clean sheet against the Spartans of Michigan State.
Yeah, that was one of the more terrific games that we saw from Badger this year. Because the Badgers, I think they lost Hebert in the middle of a loss against Indiana, and, Shriver just kind of thrown in there. And he gets a chance to start at home on alumni night. A lot of really talented former players at McClyman. And Shrivers, he showed out big time, got the Badgers a badly needed win.
Will we see the first yellow card? No. Tug of the shirt there, stopping that attack. Perhaps the most cynical foul. That's not really saying much. We haven't seen really many of those in the game so far. It's been quite a friendly. Here's Porter now off the bench. Slides it across, looking in front. Chance for Martinez. It's blocked. And a corner kick to come.
He might have even had it knifed away from behind by
Manel
Manel Restoro.
One of the many Spaniards from Barcelona. And now the Badgers will now take yet another corner. They're close to double digits. And standing over it is Arian Van Mol.
19 shots for the Badgers. Only 3 on goal, though. Or 4, pardon.
Corner played short to Martinez. Van Mol tries it a second time. Rips the shot wide of the goal, so that'll be another shot stays off target for Wisconsin.